Hello there. Today in this video, you will learn that in any argument or debate, it's important to understand the concept of the burden of proof and the appeal to ignorance fallacy. Why? Both can be deceptively convincing by arguing that a person's position or claim has not yet been proven false, and if there's no proof, then it must be true. In other words, the burden of proof falls on the idea that the newer idea, or only the popular idea, is accepted by the minority. However, an argument from ignorance can sometimes be mistakenly used to argue that a person's position or claim is true merely because it has not yet been proven false. What is the burden of proof? The burden of proof is the obligation to prove one's claim or accusation. In legal proceedings, the burden of proof is determined by principles of justice, where the accused is presumed innocent until proven guilty. However, in the streets, or in the home, the burden of proof falls on the idea that the newer idea, or only the popular idea, is accepted by the majority. This is because the assumption of truth is with the newer idea, the more established idea, especially if these ideas are coming from an expert, a teacher, or who knows, name some other title with authority. For instance, if someone claims that a new drug can cure a particular disease, then the burden of proof is on that person to prove that the drug is effective. If the person fails to provide adequate evidence, then the claim is not accepted. In civil cases, the burden of proof is usually on the plaintiff to prove their case. Now, what is the appeal to ignorance fallacy? Have you ever heard of these examples? There is no evidence that ghosts don't exist, so it must be real, or they must be real. There is no proof that aliens haven't visited Earth, so it's likely they have. There is no evidence that this herbal supplement doesn't cure cancer, so it must work. Have you heard those? The appeal to ignorance fallacy is a logical fallacy that mimics good reasoning by arguing that a position has not yet been shown to be false, which may be a perfectly acceptable argument to make in many cases. However, the appeal to ignorance fallacy makes a mistake by claiming that the argument, where the burden of proof falls on the arguer, shows that his or her position is actually true, not merely that it has not yet been shown false or disproven. Since these two issues are closely related, they are easy to confuse. The appeal to ignorance fallacy is closely related to the concept of burden of proof. When the burden of proof falls on the person making the claim, they may argue that their claim is true simply because it has not yet been proven false. This is a deceptive argument because the burden of proof is on the person making the claim to provide evidence to support it. Understanding the burden of proof and the appeal to ignorance is crucial in engaging in productive and logical arguments and debates. The burden of proof is an important concept that applies to many areas of life, including science, law, and everyday decision-making in the streets and in the home with our family and friends, as well as our significant other. The appeal to ignorance fallacy is a common mistake that people make when they assume that a lack of evidence for a claim is evidence that the claim is true. By understanding these two concepts, we can avoid making these errors, getting confused, and going through unnecessary stress. Therefore, we will make better informed decisions that will allow us to live for a better tomorrow. Make it a beautiful, beautiful day.